Hello everyone, welcome back. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm doing something a little bit different today. We're doing a bit of a voiceover situation because I'm on holiday. So we're doing cheap versus expensive, and I want to know your opinions below. Which side you think is better, even though I do mess it up a bit later. So for our cheap or affordable side for eyeshadow, we are using these e.l.f. Bite Size shadows, really good, and R.E.M beauty on the other side, which I don't think was the best. What I really like about these bite-sized eyeshadows is the pigmentation. They're like $3, but they are incredible. Like the color payoff you get, they blend it beautifully with each other by themselves. I'm keeping it really simple and just doing like a really quick brown, like smoky eye with a bit of gold on the middle. But as I mentioned before, I just really like the way these work. I was so surprised that a $3 eyeshadow could work this well. I don't really have a bad thing to say about these shadows, to be honest with you. I'm just tapping a bit of the gold onto the lid, just to make it a tiny bit interesting. Okay, so I couldn't get the colors exactly the same, so the comparison may be slightly unfair, but what I find interesting about these R.E.M beauty eyeshadows is the texture. And you'll see in a minute, there's some patchiness going on, and it's where I kind of try to build up the shadow and blend it out. So if you look on the right hand side, like the outer right hand corner, you'll notice, like in the crease, you'll notice this patch start to appear, like a lighter area. I'm not doing anything different in terms of blending, nothing like that, still doing exactly the same thing. But can you see there's like a lighter patch coming and it looks a little bit, well, patchy, I guess. It's almost as if it doesn't blend very well with itself, or the eyeshadow doesn't build up very well on top of itself, and the fallout was a bit of an issue there for me as well. I'm tapping a bit of gold onto the lid. The thing I noticed with the e.l.f. one is that the gold's really blended into the background, whereas with the R.E.M beauty it didn't. We're using this foundation from Colourpop for Pretty Fresh, and this one, which I'll put the name on the screen because I don't remember. The colour matches aren't so great because these were, oh, they weren't gifted actually. I bought these with my own money. But still, the colour match isn't so good. However, this foundation, the Colourpop Pretty Fresh foundation, I think it's called, is stunning. What a beautiful foundation. I've never tried it before. I've tried the stick and, oh wait, no, I have tried it before. So I don't know what I'm talking about today. Everything's going wrong today, so I'm just don't know what I'm talking about. Well, it went on so smoothly, so beautifully. You can still see the skin, but it's almost as if it just completely evened out my skin tone and any kind of discoloration. This is pretty light, but it actually looks okay when I put on a bit of blusher and bronzer. This also went on really nice, really smoothly, really beautifully. I do prefer the Colourpop side though. There's something about the Colourpop side, not just the colour match, but the actual finish itself. It felt smoother going on. It felt more like skin, whereas this one feels like foundation, but doesn't give as much coverage as perhaps a foundation would normally. So I did prefer the Colourpop side. I thought that was really nice. We're going to go in with a NYX HD concealer under the eye on a cheap side, and Pat Mcgrath on the more expensive side. I actually really like this concealer from NYX. It really reminds me of the NARS concealer. So if you're looking for something to use instead of that concealer, maybe something a bit more affordable, this is a great one to go for. It blends really well with the rest of my makeup, with a foundation. It blends out really nicely. It has this kind of mixture of staying in place but also moving around really nicely. I'm going to try and stop saying nicely because that's not a great word. But yeah, it just kind of seamlessly blends in. The Pat McGrath side now, I forgot how little you need of this product. A little goes a long way, which is great because it is an expensive concealer. For a reason, I would say it is really good. You can see it kind of like that tiny amount there. Really, I could have took that across my whole cheek if I wanted to. So I had to keep kind of wiping some away. Which isn't a fault of concealer, that's my fault. It's a great thing that you only need a tiny amount. Now this has the coverage more of a concealer to me. The NYX one is almost like a very sheer concealer, whereas this one is like full on, it's concealer, it's coverage, it's brightening if you use like a brighter shade. It just feels more concealed. You'll see what I mean in a minute when I show the other side. It looks like I maybe just have like a slight coverage under my eyes, whereas this one is full on coverage. You see what I mean? Okay, Colourpop bronzer. This is from one of their newer collections, which will probably be out of date next week. Out of date as now has something new, and this is the Patrich bronzer contour together, I'm just going to use a bronzer shade. This one from Colourpop, I was so pleasantly surprised. This is a beautiful bronzer, so smooth. And this tone, it's somewhere in between a contour. Can you see kind of how cold it is? It's like a contour and a bronzer together. It's almost like the perfect sculpting product, which I really, really liked. And I didn't have to use that much, but pigmentation's great. And I just really, really enjoyed using this bronzer, and the color and the tone and the depth are just perfection. I think it's a really, really nice color. To be honest with you, I can go on with another bronzer that's a little bit more orangey in tone and have like a really sculpted look using this. The Patrich tar side, I adore these products, don't get me wrong, but I did have to build it up a little bit more. I had to keep going in for a little bit more. But the end result of these products together, especially when you lay down that contour and you lay down that bronzer, it is stunning. I absolutely love, love, love these products. It's hard to say which side I prefer because they both do amazing things. If I had to choose one over the other, it would be the Patrich tar side. Okay, here's where everything goes wrong. So this blush is from Mina. Really affordable brand, and you can see I'm using it on the expensive side because I'm fucking stupid. But you know what? The difference isn't actually that much. It's a really strong color. I had to actually go over with a clean brush and buff some out because I didn't realize how pigmented it was going to be. And then we have Patrich Tar. I haven't used this yet. Blush, and it was really, really nice. This one went on really smoothly. I actually kind of lost a bit of control with the shape. You can see the shape's slightly different. We have this lip gloss, I want to say, from Colourpop. It's a weird one. It goes on kind of whiter than it looks in the tub. It was a bit strange looking in color. And then we have this from Givenchy. This is expensive, but oh my God, it is stunning. Slightly plumping on the lip, but has this beautiful finish. I love it. Okay, let me know which side you prefer, the cheap or expensive, even though I did mess up a little bit there. I would love to know your opinions below. Please consider subscribing and give this video a big thumbs up, and I will see you very soon. Bye.